What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly predictions video here on Touchdown Kingdom. We all had a blast watching Week 1, and we couldn't be more excited to bring you our predictions for Week 2 of the 2024 NFL season. As always, thanks to our sponsor BetUS for powering today's video. Let's get right into it. Up first, we have the Bills at the Dolphins. This should be a fun AFC East matchup to start off Week 2. Both teams are coming off of wins, but neither the Bills or the Dolphins dominated at any point. Josh Allen remains a stud even with less exciting talent around him than in years past, and the Tua to Tyreek combination continues to be one of the deadliest combos in all of football. While the Bills win the battle at quarterback, I do believe the Dolphins are the more well-rounded team overall, and for that reason, I'm going to give them the win at home in a tight contest. Miami wins 23-21. Next, we have the Raiders at the Ravens. The Raiders are coming off of a bad loss to a mediocre Chargers team, and they did not look very good to start the season, scoring only 10 points against a very average defense. Meanwhile, the Ravens are well rested after their Thursday Night Football loss to the Chiefs. Lamar Jackson mostly played great football outside of a few missed passes. This is a great opportunity for the Ravens to get back on track at home and beat the brakes off of a bad Raiders team. Ravens win 27-14. Moving on to the Chargers at the Panthers. It's tough to look worse than the Carolina Panthers looked in Week 1. Second-year quarterback Bryce Young looked awful, and new head coach Dave Canales didn't seem to have an answer for anything the Saints threw at him on either side of the ball. The Chargers are trying to keep the ball rolling and stack up another win with the double H combination of Herbert and Harbaugh, and I think they'll do just that. Chargers win 24-15. Up next, we have the Saints at the Cowboys. The Saints looked great last week and absolutely had their way with the Panthers for 4 straight quarters. While they'll definitely be confident heading into Week 2, they're now facing a completely different opponent in the Dallas Cowboys, who lit up the Browns in their own stadium to secure a Week 1 blowout victory. Dak Prescott got his extension, and the defense looks fantastic. Could this finally be the year Cowboys fans have been waiting on? We'll see, but either way, I like them to get the win this week. Cowboys win 26-17. Are you looking for a new book this football season? Well, BetUS is the answer. BetUS is the #1 online sportsbook in the world with the fastest payouts in the industry. BetUS has a 24/7 personalized service all year long, and they have live wagering options for all games. They have the best betting variety in the business. All of the odds we break down in the video are directly taken from BetUS Sportsbook website. Sign up now and receive a 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. Moving on to the Buccaneers at the Lions. Both teams are 1-0 and will be looking to keep that momentum heading into this Week 2 matchup. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are a real team to think about in the NFC, and wide receiver Mike Evans continues to make his presence felt year in and year out. This will be no easy challenge for the Lions despite the 7-point spread. Detroit managed to beat their old quarterback Matthew Stafford and the Rams this past week, and I expect them to have another solid year. They definitely have what it takes to beat the Bucs, but I think it'll be a closer game than most would expect. Lions win 25-21. Up next, the Colts at the Packers. The Packers are moving forward without starting quarterback Jordan Love, who will be missing 3 to 6 weeks with a knee injury. This is a huge blow to Green Bay, who is looking forward to a hot start in 2024 with their quarterback entering his second year as the starting guy. The Colts and true second-year quarterback Anthony Richardson couldn't get the job done last week, but they only lost by 2 to a very talented Texans team. I like the Colts to get an angry road win this week against an unsure Packers offense. Colts win 24-20. Moving on to the Browns at the Jaguars. The Browns laid an egg in their home opener against Dallas. Quarterback Deshaun Watson looked terrible, and people are genuinely starting to wonder if the contract the Browns gave him is truly the worst in NFL history. Week 1 is always shaky, but the Browns' offense did not look like they belonged. Meanwhile, the Jaguars lost to Miami on a last-second field goal, and they'll surely be hungry for a win back home this week. The Browns are still a very good team on paper, but with the way they looked last week, I like Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars to handle business at home. Jags win 26-20. Up next, we have the 49ers at the Vikings. The 49ers handled business and soundly beat the Jets at home without their best player, star running back Christian McCaffrey. They remain one of the strongest teams in the NFL. However, the Sam Darnold-led Vikings proved that they're a serious football team by dismantling the Giants in their own stadium last week. While this game is certainly still the San Francisco 49ers to lose, the Vikings do have some momentum returning to Minnesota for their home opener. Can Sam Darnold put up numbers once again? Possibly, but the Niners still get the W, 28-20. Up next, we have the Seahawks at the Patriots. The Patriots shook up the league by beating the Bengals in Cincinnati to kick off the year. Even without Bill Belichick leading the way, they still proved to be a pesky, defense-oriented team that can find ways to beat you. This will be no walk in the park for Seattle, especially when you factor in playing on the other side of the country. They did manage to beat the Broncos last week, but it was no dominant victory. This game really is a toss-up and a battle of two veteran backup quarterbacks that now find themselves in starting roles, Geno Smith and Jacoby Brissett. Who will come out on top? I like the Seahawks, who have the more dynamic offense. Seattle wins 20-14. Next, we have the Jets at the Titans. The Jets fell way short of victory on Monday night against San Fran. Aaron Rodgers made it through an entire game without an injury, so that in itself is a big win for Jets fans. However, their defense that was previously thought of as the heart and soul of the team played awful football against a Niners offense that didn't have Christian McCaffrey. This should be a get-right game for the Jets if they want to meet their big expectations that they set for themselves this year. Jets win 24-20. Next on the list, the Giants at the Commanders. The Giants laid an egg in their home opener and embarrassed themselves against the Sam Darnold-led Vikings. Daniel Jones looked horrible at quarterback, and many fans are already clamoring for a change at the position. This is a good opportunity for the Giants to go get a win against a rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels, but I think Washington has what it takes to beat this Giants squad, especially at home. Commanders win 20-17. Moving on to the Rams at the Cardinals. Both teams are coming off of frustrating Week 1 losses and will be looking to bounce back here in Week 2. Cooper Kupp had a monster game catching passes for the Rams, and I expect him to have a big season and put himself firmly back on the wide receiver map. The Cardinals mostly held their own against Buffalo, but missed plays prevented the win. I like them to come out angry back in their own stadium looking for the W, but I think the Rams are the stronger team. Rams win on the road 24-21. Moving on to the Bengals at the Chiefs. The Bengals need to get back on track after dropping what should have been a gimme to the New England Patriots. Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense played terribly, and Burrow did not look 100% from a health standpoint. Definitely not the start the Bengals were looking for in 2024. And now they have to deal with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, who could very well be on their way to a Super Bowl three-peat. I think the Chiefs have this one in the bag. Chiefs win 30-24. Up next, we have the Steelers at the Broncos. The Steelers won on the backs of their defense and kicker without a lot of help from their offense. TJ Watt continues to be one of the best players in the league and the ultimate difference maker in football games. The Broncos lost in their first matchup with rookie Bo Nix at the helm, but managed to put up more points than Pittsburgh in their own matchup with Atlanta. Unfortunately for Denver, I just can't see a rookie quarterback faring too well against Watt and the Steelers' D. Pittsburgh wins 20-16. Next, we have the Bears at the Texans. The Bears got a win to start the season, but with minimal help from Caleb Williams and their offense. They'll be in for a real challenge against CJ Stroud and the Texans, who have emerged as a really talented team to contend with in the AFC. If we can see more out of Caleb Williams and the Bears offense, this could be a fun game to watch. But as of now, give me the Texans at home. Houston wins 24-17. And finally, we have the Falcons at the Eagles. The Eagles are clearly the better team in this matchup, and they'll be back in Philly for their true home opener after playing in Brazil last Friday night. They once again look like a force to be reckoned with, and they should definitely beat a team like Atlanta. However, that isn't to say that this game should be a walk in the park. Falcons running back Bijan Robinson is the ultimate weapon, and Atlanta now has a quarterback in Kirk Cousins that can consistently get the ball to his playmakers if his offensive line can keep him upright. This could be a closer game than most would assume, but I like the Eagles to get the win at home. Eagles win 27-20. Alright guys, that's going to do it for another predictions video here on Touchdown Kingdom. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please make sure you liked the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates, and most importantly, comment your thoughts and your predictions in the comments below. As always, thanks to BetUS for powering today's video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.